While our first pizza is in the oven, we're going to prep the ingredients for our second one, which is going to be a barbecued chicken pizza. We're going to need pizza dough. We're going to need roasted chicken, barbecue sauce, red onion, some sliced smoked Gouda cheese, and some sliced mozzarella cheese. And we're going to need some cilantro. So what we need to do is start with our roasted chicken. For your roasted chicken, you're going to take an entire chicken that's been cleaned and dried. Cut off the wing tips and set those aside for either soup or for chicken stock. Now you're going to make your spice mix. First, I use about 2 tablespoons of salt, about 1 tablespoon of ground black pepper, about a half a tablespoon of garlic powder, about a half a tablespoon of onion powder, some fresh thyme or some dried thyme leaves, and some rosemary. It can be either fresh or dried. Mix those spices together so that they're all incorporated. And now you're going to apply them to the chicken, but rather than just putting them on the skin, you want to make sure that they get inside the chicken, so you're going to make a pocket between the skin and the meat. So take your fingers and just separate the skin from the meat without ripping a hole in the skin if you can avoid it. Just gently work your fingers back and forth and the skin and the meat will separate. Do it on both sides of the breast, the top and the bottom. Just gently separating the skin and the meat. Now for the legs and the thighs, you're going to want to do the same thing, but you need to make a hole. So take a knife and make a small slit on both sides of the legs. Gently work your finger in to separate the skin from the meat. Creating a little pocket. Now you're going to take your spice mix and put it between the skin and the meat. This way it'll roast down in and flavor the meat instead of just the skin, which sometimes you'll take the skin off if you don't feel like eating it, but this way you've got flavorings and spices right on the meat, which we're going to be using for our pizza. And you're going to do the same on the legs and the thighs, and take any excess spice mix and just go ahead and rub it on the skin. Make sure you get some on the wings. You're going to place this in a 375-degree oven until the internal temperature of the chicken reaches 165 degrees. This is the breast of the chicken that we just roasted, and what we're going to do is to dice this into bite-sized pieces. So I've taken the breast off of the chicken itself. This is how it came out with the spices on the meat as well as the spices on the skin. we'll take the skin off and just dice our chicken into bite-sized pieces. You can do the chicken in as small a piece as you want. You could even, if you wanted to, you could shred it if you wanted to. But I'm going to keep mine in chunks. I think that's probably going to be enough for our pizza right there, so I'm going to save the rest for something else. Now next is going to be our red onion. Red onion we need to slice into, we need about 3 or 4 thin slices, and this is basically just a tasty garnish to go on it. I'm going to slice off part of the one side so that I have a firm base to slice from, and then I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch slice, like that, like that, like that. One more just in case, and that's going to be plenty of onion for this recipe. We'll set that over here with the chicken. We have our barbecue sauce, which we're just going to leave in the bowl, and we have our cilantro. And I've got our slices of our Gouda and slices of our mozzarella, and what I'm going to do on these is just give them a bit of a julienne, just it's a little bit more mixed in. You could keep them whole if you wanted to just lay it right on top of the dough the way they are, but I'm going to give mine a little bit of a slice right there. Now, why am I using 2 cheeses? Because I'm going to try something different. I'm going to make half of the barbecued chicken pizza with the smoked Gouda. I'm going to make the other half with the mozzarella, just to see if there's a difference. I've heard it made both ways. It sounds good both ways, but we have the opportunity to try it both ways, so we're going to do that. One side is going to be the same ingredients with the smoked Gouda. The other side will be the same ingredients with the mozzarella, and maybe they both work, so we'll find that out in a minute. First, we're going to coat the bottom of the dough with barbecue sauce, just like you would pizza sauce. Now we're going to add our roasted chicken. Roasted chicken breast, you can use thigh, or a mixture of dark and light meat if you want. Now we need our onion, which we're going to use sparingly. Let's do this half with our Gouda. A little bit more. And this half with our mozzarella. One more up in there. One more. Right there.